Hello everyone, how are you? Hope all of you are doing well. My name is Ronit. I am an English language trainer. In this session, we are going to talk about Retell Lecture. Retell Lecture is basically the fourth question type of PTE Speaking module. In Retell Lecture, you need to listen to a lecture for approximately 1 minute and then you need to provide your response. Now, the tough part about this question type is majority of the students are not able to grasp the content properly from the lecture, the audio that they are listening, and they are not able to provide response effectively. Okay, this is the main problem. Now several factors are there, different situation is there in case of different students, but if you are someone who is facing a lot of problem in Retell Lecture, then I suggest you watch this session till the end. I would also recommend that you keep a notebook by your side so that you can jot down important points. And next, without any further ado, let's directly go to the session. Alright everyone, welcome to today's power session on PT Retell Lecture, the Master Strategy. Now before we dive deep, let me ask you something. How many of you feel that Retell Lecture is scary? Too fast, too much information, not enough time to speak? Almost every one of you. Okay, so today we are going to completely change your mindset. What this task really is. As shown on page 1, this module is about speaking and listening integration. This means you are not just speaking, you are not just listening, you are doing both together under time pressure. And that is exactly why many students struggle. Your goal is very clear. You listen to approximately 90 seconds of audio, then convert it into 40 seconds of speech. Think of it like this. Listen like a researcher, note like a strategist, and speak like a news reporter. Okay, if you didn't understand this part, then go back a few seconds and listen to it a second time. If done correctly, the reward is big. A high band score framework. But here is the truth most students don't realize. Retell lecture is not about memory, it is about structured fluency. Now that we understand the mission, let's look at why this task feels so challenging. This slide shows the real battlefield of Retell lecture. There are 4 stages, and if you fail in any one, your score drops. Let's walk through them slowly. Stage 1 is input, where you need to listen. You get about 60 to 90 seconds of academic spoken English. You are not listening for every word, you are listening for main topic, key ideas, examples, and conclusion. Stage 2 is process, where you need to take notes. Here is where smart students separate from average students. You must use the erasable notepad, organize logic, capture keywords only, don't try to capture full sentences, and transcription. Complete transcription of the audio is something that is not advisable. Stage 3, preparation. Hardly you get 10 seconds. Students underestimate this part, but those 10 seconds are gold, pure gold. In this time, you must scan notes, decide structure, and prepare opening line. Stage 4, output, where you need to speak. For this, you get 40 seconds. And remember, be clear, fluent, and structured, not robotic, not memorized. Key insight, this is very important for you to understand. This is a high level academic synthesis activity, not simple repetition. Let me repeat that because it is exam gold. You are a summarizer, not a parrot. Now that we understand the workflow, let's talk about the system rules that can literally give you zero. Okay, class. Now this slide contains one of the most dangerous rules in Retell lecture. If you ignore this, your score can become 0. So focus. First, know the environment. Understand the testing pattern. Usually 1 to 2 questions are there per test. Task type is integrated listening plus speaking. If we talk about workflow, then you listen to an audio, then 10 seconds prep time is given, and then you need to provide your response. So timing awareness is critical here. The silent death rule. Let me say this dramatically because it deserves drama. If you stay silent for more than 3 seconds, the recording stops automatically and you get 0. What I just said is provided in the warning box. Now, common student mistake. Students think, I forgot the point, let me pause and think. This is a wrong move, deadly wrong move. Instead, you must keep speaking continuously. Even if grammar is not perfect, wording is simple, details are partial, fluency saves you, and silence kills your score. In Retell Lecture, imperfect speech with flow is far better than perfect speech with multiple pauses. Next, let's understand how the scoring actually works. Now we are entering the scoring psychology. On this page, you can see the 3 pillars of your score. Think of this like a 3-legged stool. If one leg breaks, the score falls. First pillar is content. This checks, did you capture the main topic? Did you include key ideas? Did you show relationships? Students often over-focus here. But listen carefully, content alone will not give you high marks. Pillar 2 is oral fluency. Now this is huge. The slide clearly says smooth, uninterrupted delivery, natural rhythm, and no hesitations. This is where most Indian test takers lose marks. Pillar 3 is pronunciation, not accent. Let me repeat, not accent. It's intelligibility. The AI examines, can I clearly understand the speaker or not? Strategic insight, very important. As highlighted on the slide, fluency and structure are as important as content accuracy. This is the mindset shift of high scorers. Now that we know how scoring works, let's expose the biggest score killers. Alright, if you want fast improvement, this slide for you is pure gold. Because sometimes success is not about doing more, it is about avoiding mistakes. Error 1, hesitations. This includes long pauses, like fillers, and monotone delivery. Remember, fluency score drops immediately. Error 2, logic failures. Very common. Students miss the main idea, invent details, or speak random points. The AI can detect this. Yes, it is smarter than most students think. Error 3, processing errors. This is a big beginner mistake. Students try to write full sentences, translate mentally, and transcribe audio. Result, brain overload and speech collapse. Error 4, technical errors. These include mispronouncing numbers or names, running out of time, and stopping early. Bottom line, avoiding these errors alone can dramatically raise scores. Sometimes improvement is subtraction, not addition. Alright class, now we are entering the real skill zone. Up to now we understood the task and the scoring, but this slide answers the $1 million question, what exactly should you listen for? because remember, you cannot write everything. It is not possible. So step 1 is understand topic categories. The slide shows three common lecture types: general academic, scientific/technical, and social sciences. Let me give you a powerful reassurance. You are not being tested on subject knowledge, you are being tested on information handling. Even if topic is biology, economics, environment, or psychology, your job is the same: capture the structure. Step 2, recognize the lecture structure. This is the secret pattern most high scorers notice. As shown on page 6, most lectures follow introduction, main ideas, and conclusion. Retell lecture is predictable. If you understand the structure, half the battle is already won. Lectures emphasize concepts and explanations, not complex formulas. So stop fearing technical vocabulary, focus on ideas, relationships, and flow. Now the big question, how do we actually listen smartly? This slide separates passive listeners from strategic listeners. Most students listen like this, hearing every word, understanding very little, and writing too much. But high scorers use signal detection listening. What is exactly signal detection? It means filtering the noise and catching the gold. You are not a voice recorder, you are an information hunter. Key intel. First, signposting words. These are your GPS markers. Listen carefully for words like first, second, finally, in conclusion. Why? Because they tell you a new point is coming or structure is changing. Key intel number 2, repeated ideas. When the speaker repeats something, this is not accidental, it means it is of high importance and exam worthy content. Train your ears to notice repetition. Key intel 3, relationships. Watch for connectors like however, consequently, because. These words show logic. And remember, PT loves logical flow. Key intel 4, evidence. The slide highlights numbers, data, and examples. You don't need exact numbers always, but you should capture the idea of evidence. Focus on ideas and flow, not capturing every single word. Write this in your brain permanently. Okay, now that we know what to listen for, let's fix the biggest student weakness: note taking. This slide is a game changer because note taking can either boost your score or destroy your performance. Depends on how you are executing. Now, first, let's discuss the wrong way. Look at the left side. Students try to write full sentences, transcribe everything, and capture every word. Result is hands get slow, brain gets overloaded, and speaking becomes weak, even in some cases impossible. If you try to write everything, you will remember nothing. So let's look at the strategic way, the correct way to execute this. It is given on the right side. High scorers use keywords, symbols, arrows, and vertical flow. This is professional note taking. So here a core principle is given: capture 3 to 5 ideas and compress for output. That's it. Not 10 ideas, not full paragraphs, just the core skeleton. Now I have a task for you. What you can do is write notes for the topic online education, but only use keywords. All right. This is a task that I want you to do. You can pause this video, take 5-7 minutes and do this first, then continue. Okay, now let me give you the universal speaking template that high scorers secretly use. Now this is your speaking backbone. You see the cheat sheet template. And yes, template do work in PT when used correctly. Let's break it down. First opening line, the lecture was about, then you need to include the main topic. This gives immediate clarity. The AI loves clear topic statements. Second, key point section. Then the speaker explained that key point 1 and also discussed add key point 2. Notice the magic here. Smooth linking, logical flow and easy speaking. Next, additional point. Additionally, then add key point 3 was highlighted. This helps you extend fluently. Last, conclusion line. In conclusion, the lecture provided insight into, then summary. This creates professional closure. Why this template works? Three reasons are there. First is logical organization, second smooth transitions, and third perfect timing. You can use this template for effectively extending your response for 35 to 40 seconds, but you need to understand how to use it effectively. Now, understand template is a skeleton and notes provide the flesh. Without content, template alone won't save you. Some students have this confusion that if we use template alone and don't add any key content from the audio that is provided, then also we are going to get somewhat score in the content. But no, it is not going to be that way. Now the things have become more stricter, and if you are doing anything like this, then you are not going to get any score. And if you are familiar with the new update of 7th August, then you might know this, that if you are not speaking proper content, then it is not going to evaluate your task any further. In the other criteria, you are not going to get any score. Okay, same as content, you are going to get 0 in the other criteria as well. Now the final piece, how to manage the 40 seconds like a pro. This slide is pure timing strategy because many students know what to say, but they don't know how long to spend on each part. The slide shows a beautiful distribution, 0 to 5 seconds for introduction. Here state the main topic quickly. Keep it short, clear, no drama. Next, 5 to 30 seconds, body. This is your scoring zone. You can cover 2 to 3 key points, logical flow and smooth delivery. This is where most marks come from. Last, 30 to 40 seconds, conclusion. Give a concise summary. Do not start new ideas here. The fluency rule. This is one of the most important rules. Speak at a steady, natural pace, avoid fillers because fluency is more valuable than perfect recall. Let me repeat in my trainer style. Flow beats memory, smooth beats perfect, and continuous beats accurate but broken. Alright class. Now this slide is where good students become smart test takers. Because in the real exam, two things can happen. Best case, you understand everything. Worst case, you miss some information. High scorers prepare for both situations. Let's break down the four strategic methods. First method, primary method, your default weapon. This slide calls this the template driven structure, the safest and most consistent approach. This should be your go-to strategy in most questions. Now, when to use? When lecture is clear, notes are complete, and you caught main ideas. This method is your home base. Master this first before experimenting. Method 2, scientific method. This is for analytical lectures. You can use this when it has structure of cause and effect or problem solution. Now, when to use? When you have scientific topics, process explanations, and research discussions. The lecture explained the causes of climate change and its major effects. This sounds very academic and the AI loves that. You can use something like this. Okay. Method 3, historical method. This works for narrative lectures. Structure is chronological, timeline based, and story flow. When to use? When history topics are there, development is there over time, and for case studies. Method 4, safety net, most important for nervous students. Now pay very close attention. The slide highlights if details are lost, switch to a general summary of the tone. Goal is to speak continuously and never stop. This is your emergency parachute. Now let's talk about real exam reality. Sometimes audio is too fast, accent is unfamiliar, and in some cases even too thick. You miss key points. Now, what to do in such situations? In that moment, weak students completely freeze, but strong students keep speaking. If you forget the details, do not forget your fluency because remember, silence equals to zero, imperfect summary equals to at least partial marks. Always choose survival speaking. Something is better than nothing. Now let's bring everything together into one final blueprint you can follow in the exam. Beautiful. This slide is your complete Retell lecture roadmap. If students follow this consistently, scores improve dramatically. Let's walk through the three phases that are provided. Phase 1, listening. The slide instructs identify thesis, capture 2 to 3 supports, note the conclusion and use symbols. While listening, your brain should ask what is the topic, what are the main points and how does the lecture end. Not what was every word and how to spell everything. Okay, this is phase 1. Next, phase 2, the 10-second gap. Most students waste this time, but top scorers use it strategically. The slide advises to scan notes, rehearse chunks, and prepare opening sentence. These 10 seconds decide how confidently you start. A strong start leads to smooth fluency, a confused start leads to panic speaking. Next, phase 3, speaking. Follow the golden order: intro, key points, and conclusion. Maintain natural tone. Now, I would like to just remind you that you should keep your pace steady, avoid rushing, avoid long pauses, and sound natural. I will just give this final powerful message. Structured fluency beats perfect memory. This is the core philosophy of Retell Lecture. So class, Retell Lecture is not a memory test. It is a communication test under pressure. If you listen for structure, take smart notes, use a clear template, maintain continuous fluency, high scores are absolutely achievable. And remember, don't aim to repeat the lecture, aim to retell it intelligently.